And we are live. Hello, everyone, to Ranger Command 200. Welcome to Ranger Command 200. But I'm going to say hi to people in the chat. We've got Airsef, we got Tyler Bozetsky, we got Mason Merrill, we got Jacob P. This is awesome. So, yeah, it is episode 200, and we're going to get into our spiel in a bit. If you do want to call into the show, DM us on Twitter, where I can give you the call-in details, and that way we can moderate if people want to call in, talk for like 5 minutes or whatever. If you want to say a congrats or however you guys want to do it. That's a little housekeeping. I'll do that when more people show up. But yeah, we are live, and I guess we're just going to do our normal episode. So we're going to talk about a little bit of news. We'll talk about some Ranger Command memories. Whatever you guys want to talk about. We've got some comments from our listeners as well.
There might be a huge twist at some point.
You guys keep promoting it. I don't know what it is.
I
don't know what it is.
And a twist you won't believe.
All right, so
Tyler MC's in chat. What up?
Yes, Tyler MC, and we do have audio and a couple video clips. So I'll handle that through Zoom, and we're trying a new setup here. So yeah, we'll get right into it. So here we go. I got the show notes open. All right.
All right.
Today on the Power Hour, episode 200, Ranger Command's Future, recorded live on May 28th, 2022. Welcome to the Ranger Command Power Hour on the Four Eyed Radio Network. Simon Ranger up with your host. I'm Eric, also known as Trekkie B47.
I'm AP, also known as Secret Ranger Fan.
And I'm Zach, also known as Hollywood.
This episode is brought to you by our patrons on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/RangerCommandPH to learn more about supporting Ranger Command Power Hour. Thanks to our $5 and above patrons, Charles D., Chris P., Steve F., AJW, Jacob P., Steve M., Tyler B., Tyler W., Leland D., Charlie N., Craig M., Liz M., Mason M., Kevin R., Steve R., Hassan A., Josh P., Derek G., and Teresa B. for supporting us this month. Remember, you can go to linktr.ee/RangerCommandPH for all of the links of the podcast, as well as a link to our Amazon affiliate page at amazon.com/shop/RangerCommandPH. And episode 200 of our regular episodes. We've made it.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
It's always good to be able to do these live shows. I love being able to live interact with our listeners and hang out with everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's a good time.
Yeah, this is awesome. Mm-hmm. And with our extra episodes, we're actually at like 287 episodes, which is crazy. I mean, we're close to total like 300 episodes. So
we're on our countdown to 300.
If we can squeeze out another 13 episodes this year, sure.
Oh, we got 12 viewers now. 13.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it'll go up.
We don't really like us.
We don't need to talk about it.
I just hit my mic thingy.
So yeah, so let's dive into some news. I see all of you guys in the chat. This is awesome. We got Matt Aguilar in the chat, Knight of OA. What's up, everyone? Congrats on episode 200.
Just a point of contention, sir. I think it's a Knight of Oa, as in Oa from the Green Lanterns. Matt.
Oh right. Sorry, that's my bad.
Listen, if there's one thing Zach knows, I can't reach them right now, but I have a mug full of Green Lantern and various other Lantern Corps power rings. I am a huge Green Lantern nut.
Well, sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, so
be drinking.
So we do have some news of some stuff that happened over the week. Just to point out, episode 87 was supposed to be out today. Things got a little crazy with editing because it is almost 3 hours long. We talked all about the ASJ stuff in that one, all of our thoughts and feelings, as well as reviewing the last 4 episodes of Dino Fury Season 2 Part 1. So that episode and the podcast version of this episode will be out on Monday, which is Memorial Day. Thank God I have the day off. And this episode is all about timing. Like, just the timing of everything has really worked out. So, first up, apparently the people at Hasbro Pulse left their development site open.
Somebody's in trouble.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bad.
I don't know how that happened. I don't know what was going on with that. But what ended up happening was there was some new product reveals. So it leaked the new HasLab, which is the Riva Inquisitor lightsaber. So that leaked before the actual announcement. But there was an interesting product that spans across all of Hasbro's action figure properties, and it's called the Selfie series. So what this is for, I think it was like, what, $39.99, or it was...
I thought it was $60.
Oh, 60,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, it was like $59.98 or something.
$59.99, yeah.
Yeah. For that price, you can get your head, and I don't know if they do digital sculpting. I don't know if they're going to have an app to capture your face or if you have to send in pictures. No idea how it works. But apparently you can get your head, like in their portrait technique that they do, onto an action figure body. So for Power Rangers specifically, the Red Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, or the pink Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. And then there was other figures that you could do, like you could do your own Ghostbusters uniform, which is cool. And I would hope that you could at least customize the name tag if you went for the Ghostbusters.
With Ghostbuster, I believe the character's name is Rookie, which is a good
okay.
catch-all term.
Yeah.
Because most of us were a rookie on a team at one point or another in the Ghostbusters fandom. But yeah, no, I literally, I was sitting at my computer doing nothing, and AP messaged me, and she's like, "Oh my God, did you see this Ghostbusters selfie series?" Ah, and I'm like,
What?
What? She didn't say it like that, obviously. She was just, there was a lot of exclamation points. That's all I know. And whenever there's a lot of exclamation points,
I think it was
imagine
just
screaming.
exclamation points. I think it was just
Okay.
like a couple exclamation points and no words.
Okay, yeah, that sounds that tracks. That's on brand for AP. And we, like, she said that to me. I was like, "Oh my God, that's so cool. What is this?" And I didn't realize at this point that like the dev site had been like opened. I thought that this was just a thing, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, I'm so gonna get one of these. That's so awesome." And then I looked and I noticed it's a dev, and I'm like, "Wait, dev? What the hell is going on here?" And I looked on Twitter, and that's when I saw everybody talking about, "Oh my God, the dev site leaked! Haha, someone's in trouble! Oh my God, all this stuff is leaked!" I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, I can't get it yet, but I mean, when it happens, I'll get it. I'm sure."
So yeah, we don't know if this is going to be like a Hasbro PulseCon exclusive announcement or what's happening. We don't even know if this is really going to be a product that exists. So I hope so. I think it would be cool to get that like helmet or, you know, your portrait on and put it on any Ranger figure if you could.
I
Yeah.
want to call out Tyler in chat said, "What a time to be alive, and we can put ourselves in the Lightning Collection before we get a single Ranger from RPM."
Someone just submits a picture of like one of the Rangers already. Just see what happens.
Well, some people
here's-
were joking that like if you submitted the pictures for Mike for Magna Defender and finally get him like
Oh
A
yeah.
Magna Defender head.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good.
so people were actually joking about that, like getting missing portraits, like somehow do like a Ranger Slayer, maybe Photoshop like a Punk Kimberly or something for your Ranger Slayer.
That'd be good.
Yeah, so we don't know all the details for it. There was like a fake checkout, so you could take it to a virtual shopping cart, and it said for the selfie series that all sales are final. There's no returns. There's nothing. Like it's completely custom, and I would hope for $60, they're able to do it right. Oh my god!
Oh my god!
This is the twist.
This is the twist. That tease, that tiny tease.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, AP. Oh.
I had to do it.
Oh.
So close, so close.
Derailed.
Everyone.
You know what? Maybe at 400. Okay, it's gonna take time.
Maybe at 400. Yeah.
He's gonna warm up to you, chat.
Zach, if you could just do the chat whenever, I'm just gonna focus on the show note stuff. But...
Sure.
All right. So we did talk about this in extra episode 87, all about the ASJ indictment. So I'm not going to repeat what we ranted on in that episode. Basically, tune into that on Monday, whenever that gets released on Memorial Day. But there was a bit of an update because there was some dates like Tuesday and Wednesday where certain things were happening in the trial. And a big shout out to a friend and guest co-host of the show, Joshua Aaron Moore at Kentucky Jam, who's been kind of keeping track of the legal documents. And so he had a few updates from this past Tuesday. So Jason Lawrence Geiger, aka Austin St. John, hasn't been detained but had to surrender his passport. He has been granted limited permissions to travel outside of Texas. The full conditions of his release are sealed, but he did have some screenshots from the motion of authorization for travel. So basically it says Mr. Geiger's job requires him to travel to various locations around the country to take part in conventions and expositions. As part of the conditions of his pre-trial release, he is permitted to travel freely within the state of Texas, but requires permission to travel outside of the state. Without the ability to travel outside of Texas, Mr. Geiger will lose his primary ability to provide financially for his family. Mr. Geiger respectfully requests the permission of the court to travel to the following locations on the dates listed to attend conventions. So, literally in a couple weeks, Charlotte, North Carolina, there's Miami, Florida, there's Raleigh, North Carolina, and Long Beach, California, and Anaheim, California. The last date on there being Power Morphicon, and he hasn't even officially been announced for Power Morphicon. So it's like this case document.
Hey, your convention appearance got leaked by a deposition. Whoopsie doodle.
Exactly.
That got leaked by the Federal Department of Justice.
So that's he's basically still going to be able to go to conventions. Then he decided to do a freaking live stream.
Worst idea ever.
He even said on the live stream, I'm not going to link to the live stream. You can find it on YouTube. But basically he was saying that his lawyer told him not to leak any details. And I'm like, why are you even on a live stream then? You shouldn't even be doing this. Like, literally anything can be said against you, like from this point onward. But I know he said, you can come after me, but don't come after my family. I mean, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
But he also then started talking about mainstream media and like how they're twisting, which red flag right there. You're using that term.
Yeah.
But he basically confirmed that he entered a not guilty plea. He called disparaging media and non-fans poison pills and flesh-eating bacteria, which is fun. And then he also promoted some upcoming convention appearances, which is part of that court document we talked about, as well as a project called like Redemption Comics. Like, seriously?
Oh, Lord.
Ew.
Yeah.
So really bad. And then this was one quote that Kentucky Jam quoted from the stream as part of his ongoing thread. So this is a quote from ASJ. Quote, anybody can go with the first news reports and roll over. They'll sit there and bash on me only long enough to gloat on themselves and how great they are. They think the majority of us are mindless enough not to see the glaring hypocrisy. Okay, man. We're not the ones indicted for, taking $250,000 of, PPP loans. Yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever, man.
We got some comments in chat. Chris, going back to talking about the selfie figures, was saying how will Green Ranger track them all. I don't know. That's a hard thing to do. Make sure you post all your selfie pictures on Twitter.
Wait, what?
I don't know. Arisef says, I just hope for his sake and for everyone else's that he doesn't do any panels. That goes for another PMC guest too. Tyler Bozetsky says that's probably not a proper idea to have a live stream explaining your legal issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I posted it on Twitter, but like I kind of used to be in the legal realm and still kind of am to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
And cases can absolutely be like made on social media activity.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Like they can absolutely affect your case. You can win or lose based on just a couple social media posts. And most people do not realize that. So if your attorney's telling you not to be posted on social media, maybe don't talk about it, maybe you should be listening to them. That they went to school for that.
Yeah, I have no idea what he was thinking. That was just like flat out, like, you shouldn't even be doing this. And granted, it was like 11 o'clock or something, my time, Central Time. And I think he was like 15 or 20 minutes late to his own stream. And, I was kind of thinking, oh, maybe his lawyer intercepted him and said, like, what the hell are you doing? Like, don't do this. But I don't know.
I picture his lawyer as Jim Carrey in Liar Liar, just holding the phone. Stop breaking the law, asshole!
Yeah, I think it's an absolute mess, and
oh yeah.
I mean, we went all into it on Extra Episode 87. I really can't wait for people to listen to that.
Oh yeah.
I think that's a good discussion. Like, literally half the episode is about like news items, like before we even review
That's the main topic.
The the episodes of Dino Fury. So yeah. Okay. This is episode 200. I want to get some housekeeping out of the way. Why are we doing this? What's the big deal? Yada yada, what's happening? I've been teasing it on certain episodes, and it's all over social media. I will be a father in like a couple weeks, literally. Due date is June 10, but that's like for inducing the child to come out. So literally any time between now and June 10, I could be out of here going to a hospital watching Teresa give birth to our son.
In theory, we could be in the middle of this podcast and Teresa could say, Eric!
That could very well happen. Her water could break. I don't know.
Oh, God. I hope we're not speaking it into existence now.
And Zach, I will I will smack you if that I will reach across the internet into virtual Florida and go
yeah.
Childbirth was the real twist, Zach.
No, we can't speak this into existence. So God damn.
Now I kind of want it just a little bit.
No! Stop! I don't know if Teresa's watching this, but if she is, she'll drive to Florida and get you.
Hey,
But
my friends will come visit me.
right.
Made myself sad just now.
Oh, but seriously, like, it literally could happen any time between now and June 10th. So yeah, she basically reached full term this Friday. So I think it's 37 weeks. Yeah, and we're gonna have a child. We're gonna have a son. I really want to thank my friends who are also like listeners and just people I've known through the podcast. I really want to thank anyone who's, contributed to our diaper fund or given us a gift or just well wishes or anything, through our registry. It really helps a lot and we really appreciate it. Like, we got a buttload of stuff from, some friends on Facebook. And then my aunt bought like a whole fancy crib thing for us that we put on our registry as like a
joke.
That would be nice. Like, we
Yeah.
could get that,
Like a
but
reach
I don't
goal.
expect anyone to get that. And she did. So, pretty
It's
cool.
always nice when you get surprised like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I am taking the month of June off. I've got pretty much my paternity at work. I'm doing like half days at work. That way I can still be with Teresa and help for that first month. She's got like 12 weeks of maternity leave, which is insane. I mean, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
And my mom will be staying with us for pretty much all of June. So it'll be great. It'll be a fantastic time. And I just cannot do a podcast in the middle of all that. I want to concentrate on the baby. I want to concentrate on the family. So we are taking June 2022 off. If you're a patron, we have already suspended June pledges. So you will not be charged for the month of June. But as always, we appreciate your support. Beyond that, I'm not sure. Like I said, the timing all kind of worked out. Like, even last year when we found out that Teresa was pregnant, I was kind of looking at our schedule and how we do like 2 to 3 episodes per month, and I was like, man, episode 200 could hit like right before the baby's here, and sure enough, that's what ended up happening. So I'm like, I think this is a great way to just like, let's have fun tonight. We'll take listener questions. And I put it out on Twitter. If you want to like call into the show, like here in Zoom, I've got a Zoom number and a meeting ID. If you guys want to hop in, maybe say a few things and then we'll move on to the next person. That's absolutely a possibility. DM Ranger Command PH on Twitter, and we'll get that going later on in the show. Because I do want to read some comments that we received, and we got a video and an audio clip that I want to play as well. But yeah, beyond June of this year, but beyond next month, I'm not sure. Interviews are always a possibility. I know that Ryan Parrott wanted to connect to talk about the Charge to 100. I did want to talk with Matt Groom, who's also starting to write for Power Rangers or Mighty Morphin. And those are some interviews that I've talked about. And we've also put in a request to Boom. I mean, we've been talking with Boom for months to get this happening, but we also wanted to interview Nicole Andelfinger, who wrote the just completed Power Rangers Universe miniseries. Would love to have her on the show, but I don't know if it's a timing thing or, if Boom keeps promising, but haven't really committed to anything. I was supposed to do one earlier this month with her, but it just never heard back from them. So there are some interviews that, we are in the process of getting or trying to get or in the planning stages. So we might drop, a random interview here and there. I don't think I'm going to do like another 3-hour session with Ryan Parrott, unless, I know that the baby's all good or whatever. So, so you might see some more sporadic, episodes here and there. And the door's open. If AP and Zach want to host the show on their own, if they want to do their own version,
I told you, you'll come back and we would have just burned it all down.
Oh, it'll be chaos. It'll be absolute. Like, we'll record and we'll be like, hey, Eric, can you pop the show intro and the show outro on the end of this? And it's just completely an unedited, like mess. And that's
uncensored
exactly what it'll be.
Just uncensored F-bombs the whole time. We're just like...
And, well, who knows? Will I edit it? Maybe. I don't know.
And I will burn this mother to the ground.
and you're more than welcome to do that. But
my gosh, no.
Oh God, you gave us permission, AP.
No. We have to do it now.
Get the lighters.
But I will say, if there's like major breaking news for Power Rangers, like if they announce season 30, or here's all the details on the movie, or big PulseCon explosive announcement, then
Maybe we'll do like a Twitter space or something.
I
Just,
don't.
Like, open up. I don't know how that works.
I don't want to do that.
Nobody does.
I barely use Twitter for Twitter. I'm not using Twitter for video meetings.
No, I'm not doing that. So obviously, if there is any breaking news, we will record something and have a reaction to it. We will have maybe a round table, and maybe that is a Twitter space. I don't know. Maybe we get with the times. Can you save a Twitter space? Can you
can
save the audio?
Them. Oh, you can? You can record them?
You can record them to play back later. And I'm assuming if you did that, you'd be able to pull the audio from somewhere.
If that's a possibility, I might consider doing that. But yeah, so we're definitely not going to be as frequent as we've been the past 8 years. And, the people that can do it regularly, like the Ranger Danger guys, like the Grid, like other Power Rangers podcasts that do it on the regular, more power to them. But, I'm the one that's driving this most of the time. And the thing is, it's like, I don't know how crazy it's going to get with my first kid. So at least taking the month of June off, we'll go from there. So I just want to temper people's expectations. This isn't going to be like, this isn't going to be regular Ranger Command as it stands. But what won't change, I'm still gonna have news articles and stuff, press releases, comic reviews, all of that at rangercommand.com. We're still gonna be active on Twitter. I'm on my phone all the time, so being on Twitter, all that stuff is easy. Editing a podcast, that's hard, and that's what takes time. So I'm still going to be around, and Ranger Command's still going to be around, and we're not really going anywhere in terms of that. Like, our site's, not going to go anywhere. Oh, shoot. I think we do have, I do think we have a few people that are requesting
to join us.
To join. So I'll go in order, once we get to that point. But stay tuned, and that way I can bring people in one at a time. So awesome. Thank you guys for doing that. And we'll get you guys in here in a bit. Zach, how's the chat looking?
Chat's good. Let's see. What do we got? We've got Tyler Bozetsky says, I know like 5 other people who are either expecting or have just had their children. Nuts. Tyler MC says, let me and Ben on the PR Universe episode and you'll get some real good swears. Steve.
Oh, that's true.
Oh no, I missed a huge reveal. Tyler Bozetsky says, wait, seriously, 8 years? Was 2014 that long ago?
Oh.
Yeah.
It feels like a lifetime ago, especially really, after 2020 and the pandemic. Even the past 2 years are like a complete blur.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I aged about 2 years during 2020.
Right.
Anyway. So.
Yeah. I mean, all this gray all this gray and like my beard and my hair.
Oh, I have gray hair now too. It's super
I have
fun.
this like, skunk patch in the front of my head. It's annoying as all get out.
This is pandemic gray. This is like
Oh yeah.
3-4 years of stress gray. That's what this is.
Yeah.
But yes, when the time comes, we're still going to do a comic review episode. It's just, I think we'll do one for Universe, but I'm going to plan that maybe in July. So I'm not doing anything for the podcast, in June, except, updating comic previews and reviews and news stuff. Otherwise that's it. Mason Merrill says 2018 feels like a different world. I know. Like, 2018 was Power Morphicon. I sort of got 2018, 2019. Those were, like, the best years for hanging out. We had PMC. We had Ranger Stop. I got to go to New York Toy Fair again.
Even you and I doing C2E2.
C2E2. Live show. Yeah, like, literally 2 weeks before the pandemic. Like, 2018 to right before the pandemic, great years. Awesome. Yeah. I loved it.
I got to go to my first con.
Yeah.
I got to meet people.
Yeah.
Like, it was awesome.
That's why I said Ranger Stop. That was amazing.
AP got to come down to Ranger Stop
and people literally got to see her real face.
Yes.
So if you
half of them probably didn't even know. Unless you saw the girl that was walking around with me and Eric, then you know it was AP. But
yeah.
But yeah, it's been crazy, and I'm really proud of the fact that during the pandemic we still kept to our schedule. We still produced podcasts, and we had some very important episodes, like the Black Lives Matter episode, where we had Ro and Sentai 5, and I mean that was an incredible an incredible discussion. And we had some great episodes during the pandemic. And, I mean, even if you guys in the chat have a favorite episode or a moment or a favorite episode or moment, whatever, let us know what those are, because we always like the feedback, and it really means the moment to us. And I don't, I've got the memory of like a pea, so I don't remember specific quotes. I know there's people that got like quotes and and lines that are out the top of their head. But yeah, and then like Ben, he had a good point. Yep. We had him on for a special episode talking about COVID-19 and the vaccinations that were in the stages for children, which is, another very important topic to discuss. It's still affecting us. It's still out there. So yeah, it's been crazy the past couple years. And, even the fact that we got to 200 regular episodes. I remember Ranger Command 100, and that was 5 years ago. I was looking at the page for Ranger Command 100. That was 5 years ago, where he did that big team up special with all the guest co-hosts that had been on at that time.
Those were always fun. Just being goofy.
Steve's actually pulling out actual episodes. I'm going to have to pull out my episode list. Like you throw out an episode number, I don't even remember what specific numbers are. So I got to pull up my episode count here. Episode 182 was, as I scroll, Rangers Thinking Positive.
Oh,
yeah.
What did we talk about? That was 2021.
I think we were just surrounded by negativity in the fandom, and we were trying to be like, let's highlight the people who are thinking positive and then think positive ourselves.
That was like a year ago. Yeah. We had
what a difference a year makes.
Right. And we're right back at it. Yeah, that was an episode all three of us were on. I think, Steve, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was an episode topic that you had suggested.
Probably Steve's idea. Chris the Chess says, it's Ben, and I'm not sure if he's going for the
it's
Bare Naked Ladies reference or the stained up. It's been a while.
Oh man. So I think we're going to do we'll do some questions and listener comments for episode 200, and these were the people that pre-submitted this. I'll see if I can share. I think I gotta prep this. Hold on. All right, let me see if this will work. No, I got to do my my VLC player for this to work. And then I can share my screen. Because I just want it to come through for everyone. Ooh, I could share a file. Oh no, I can't.
Oh no. No.
Oh no.
Oh my.
Oh no. Oh man.
Let me see if this will work. Well, you can see our show notes. You can
Steve's question for AP says, question for AP, did you get the Wawa?
No, I didn't.
Whoa.
And I want to talk about it.
There's an echo slightly. But hey, I can see your screen on my screen.
Oh, that's not...
And an echo from you.
We might have to put these in post. Hold on, sorry. Let me stop that.
Oh, don't hit that button. That's a bad button. Okay.
I don't know how I can share this.
Oh dear.
Okay. You guys might have to hear this on YouTube. I think because I'm doing this through OBS, everyone will be able to hear the audio I'm about to play.
Okay.
From Tyler, but you guys might not. So I'm going to play this and hope it works. So Tyler MC submitted, and he submitted this.
Hey folks, it's Tyler MC. Just wanted to say I've been a fan of Ranger Command Power Hour for years, and now I'm fortunate enough to call you friends. Congratulations on 200 episodes. Party hard. You deserve it.
And so that was,
folks, it's Tyler.
And that was from Tyler MC. And then I'll figure out how to play Josh's. Otherwise, I don't know how it's going to show up. I thought I could share a file. See, this is just the standard portion of Ranger Command. Let's see, computer audio, video. I can share a video. Actually, let me get this out of the way. I think I can do this. I don't know if it's going to show up on stream, but I hope it does.
Fingers crossed.
Let me see. This is we got an actual video clip from Josh, the Toku fan, at Shinkenred 813. He said, hey, Ranger Command, congrats on 200 episodes of the podcast. Attaches my video file message for the pod. Congrats, you guys and gals. Keep up the great work. But he asked, what's your favorite headcanon that you've heard about through the podcast? So we did like a whole episode about headcanons.
Ooh.
That was so long ago.
I know.
Gosh, I don't even remember.
The only one I remember is the one that I came up with, and I think it's kind of gauche to say that my favorite is my own, so I'm gonna withhold.
So I'm putting ice into my water cup. Okay, let me find this video file, and let me see if this is actually going to play. I have no idea if this is going to work.
Hey Ranger Command, this is Josh the Toku fan over on Twitter. Just wanted to congratulate you on 200 episodes. Thanks for all your hard work on the podcast, and here's to the next 200. See ya.
Okay, so the video portion didn't go through at all.
I saw it.
But it didn't show up on stream.
Oh, it didn't show up on stream. Yeah. So
Oh.
stream doesn't get to see it. We
Okay.
get to see it.
But they heard the audio. So really appreciate that, Josh. Thank you so much. and we never have to worry about these technical issues again because the rest of it is text.
Okay, good.
So after we read these segments, we'll start bringing some people in to talk, and they're all pretty cool people. So we'll bring them in, and we'll have some fun with some additional guests. So let's read some comments. But before we do, Zach, is there any other comments that we need to highlight?
Sure thing. So we've got Database Ranger in chat saying, "Greetings, Ranger fans. Just put RJ down for the night and I wanted to drop by to say congratulations on the big milestone." Well, thank you so much.
Oh my God. Is Database Ranger's kid also named RJ?
Yes.
That is unintentional. So
you're
so my son
and my nephew
and your nephew
Ronan James, RJ.
My son will be named Ryan James.
Oh my god.
So he will also be RJ.
We need more RJs in the fandom chat. Let's go. We got to get them all.
No, so I mean we have RJ, like Wolf Ranger.
Yeah.
Jungle Fury Wolf Ranger. But oh my gosh. So yeah. Hey. Wait, LOL bro haha says your viewing globe is messed up. Oh,
I think they're talking about AP's viewing globe.
Actually, I didn't even think about that. Yes, AP is the viewing globe.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
right.
top tier cosplay. It's perfect.
I'm either the moon or I'm like, I don't know what I am. So.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy.
Hassan Ahmed in the chat saying, "Hello, love the name RJ."
Oh, okay. Database Ranger says initials are the same, but the names are different. Thank God.
Okay.
I was like, wow, we got RJception here.
Yeah, really.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
so,
my nephew RJ, your son RJ, Database Ranger son RJ. It's all RJs all the time.
We just get an army of Wolf Rangers. Let's go.
An army?
This is an army. And this is an army.
Oh my God.
That's terrible.
And this is why we're canceled. Good night, everybody.
We've already burned it all down.
All right, let's get into some of these comments. So we got an amazing message from Nightmare 10 of the Power Scoop. And she said, AP, Eric, and Zach, 200 episodes and more with the extra episodes released on a regular schedule and with standout ideas like Power Rangers Survivor. Wow. I've enjoyed watching this podcast grow over time to give you the opportunities that may have never been expected, but are rightfully deserved, and to become a platform to speak your minds and to discuss the hard stuff that needs to be said. You've also used this outlet to bring eyes to other fandom members that show their passion in different and creative ways that some might not have stumbled upon, and I'm grateful and thankful to have been one of those people. Whether this is the end of Ranger Command Power Hour, it's not, or just a break, what you have achieved is nothing short of awesome. Maybe things didn't run smoothly the whole time, but your transparency, passion, and love for Power Rangers, even in the toughest times for the brand and as a fandom, is just a testament to your true characters, and I'm glad you all decided to take the chance and create this podcast. It is easy to feel like there's already so many podcasts, or this has been done before, or maybe the occasional why do I bother cross your mind. But you truly brought something different to the game, as you all have different backgrounds with the franchise and the fandom, and brought different perspectives to every topic discussed. There are a lot of favorite moments of Ranger Command Power Hour, but a few of mine were the roundtables, the anniversary live streams, and overall just hearing your excitement when getting to interview those like Yoshi Sudarso, Sean C.W. Johnson, Simon Bennett, and more. Best of luck to you all in the future, and whatever road that takes you on, and thanks once again for the time and passion you put into Ranger Command. P.S. What is the most standout moment or experience you've had over the course of the podcast?
Mir, oh, my heart
Oh.
is so full.
Yeah, thanks, Mir. And I know she's in the
Thank
chat,
you.
but
Yeah,
that really means a lot to us.
Yeah.
so kind.
But
Standout moments. Gosh, I
Standout
gotta think.
moment.
There's so many. Like we have been able to do and see and experience and just there's so much with this show that we feel so fortunate. I mean, not only the big stuff. Like obviously, yes, it's exciting to interview Simon and Bennett. It's exciting to go to the premiere of the Power Rangers movie. It's exciting to go to these conventions and do these live streams. But really, I think the friends we make
yeah,
Yeah.
through this podcast, all of you guys who are in chat right now hanging out with us, all of you who talk to us on Twitter, all of you who have become friends in our everyday lives, people we play video games with every night almost, and like that, I think it is probably the best experience out of everything.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Zach said, all that, but also just, I mean, I hate to say it, but my highlight is still 2019 Ranger Stop.
yeah,
Yeah.
And just because I've never been to a convention before that, and just meeting everyone in person, and it was such an amazing experience for me. I still look back on that very fondly, and I hope that one day we're able to do that again.
yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'd love to do something like that again with everybody.
Yeah, I think out of all the different conventions, I loved PMC 2018. That was amazing. But what made Ranger Stop 2019 so special was that it was the three of us together in person for the first time, and just all of our mutual friends that were there and that we got to hang out with. I got to meet one of my favorite Power Ranger actors of all time, John Toohey. Zach and I got a picture with him. Dude was amazing in the panels. And I love the feeling of a smaller con. I felt like I got to see more of my friends and people I know online than probably any other convention. Like with PMC, it gets to be crazy. And obviously for reasons of me having a kid and all that, like I'm basically using up all my PTO at work for paternity leave. So I won't be able to go to any convention the rest of the year except C2E2 here in Chicago, which I know Mason is going to be at, as well as Tyler MC. So we're going to be hanging out at C2E2 here in Chicago. Local con, easy for me to get to. We all have press passes, so let's go. but out of state cons, I'm not going to be able to do it. And I really miss that because as somewhat of a logistic mess that PMC can be, 2018 was all about the friendships. And it was the same with Ranger Stop. And I liked Ranger Stop because it was a small con. You got to see and experience everything, but mainly you got to hang out with your friends. And I'll never forget that trip. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you said, I think it was special because it was the three of us getting to hang out together for the first time, all of us. And,
Yeah.
Even the goofy, not Power Rangers related stuff, I think stands out more. Walking to the Wawa every day to get a sandwich for lunch, or
I miss Wawa so much, and I'm so mad that there's not one in Illinois. I am pissed off. I think about Wawa frequently, probably more than I should. No, it was
I'm gonna have to
just,
send you.
it was
I'm gonna have to
so
send you another care
convenient.
package.
It was
Yeah.
so convenient. I mean, it was literally we walked from our hotel room 2 minutes right to Wawa. It was perfect.
Yeah. It's doing that stuff, going to Wawa, like when we went to City Walk and we were just walking around in the rain at night, like that's one of my fondest memories of that whole year probably. Is just us hanging out, standing in the rain, waiting for the rain to let up even a little bit so we could get to an Uber to get back home.
I mean, it sounds stupid, but one of the highlights of that night was probably when we were like, oh yeah, let's go get some ice cream. And we went to that place and then we ordered the
That
ice
was
cream.
too much ice cream.
And we took one look at it and we're like, what did we just do?
I almost went into a diabetic coma. It was that bad. Like that was a mess.
Oh, I forget the name of that place, but yeah, it was so good and just so much, and
Yeah.
I miss it. Take me back to 2019, please.
Just the instant regret that all of us had once we like actually got what we paid for. It's like, what are we doing? But no, that night was so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really
Eventually,
was.
we'll do it again.
And I still
Yeah.
have. Where's my wallet? Did I not have my wallet? Yeah, I do. I still have my wallet. Hang on. I still have in my wallet every day the smashed Back to the Future penny that AP got me at the Universal
Nice.
store. I keep that
'Cause
with me.
He was looking for Back to the Future stuff, and they had nothing. And then
They
I
had
looked over at the penny
nothing.
thing, and they had a Back to the Future design in the penny.
That was
thing. And I'm
literally
like,
the only thing that they had.
I was like, man, I want something Back to the Future, like pins or something. Like Back to the Future is one of my favorite Universal properties, and just there was nothing. And it's like it's all Harry Potter and it's all Minions and Shrek and nothing. And I was like,
Well, they're opening up that new throwback store, the tribute store. So there's going to
Yeah.
be stuff in there now.
That's true. That's true. So some in chat, Tyler Bozeski said this upcoming PMC may be my last for a while. This may be the last PMC period.
Yeah, they're not,
I mean,
they're
this
not doing so hot.
this might be everyone's last PMC. So,
Yeah.
just things I've been hearing. We got My Name is Sean in the chat who said, happy 200 episode, guys. Keep up the great work. And Eric, congrats again on the baby. Welcome to fatherhood. You're going to love it. I also want to shout out to friend of the show, Pronghorn Heroes. He just announced that he's having a kid like in September.
Everyone's having kids.
Everyone's having Toku babies. It's crazy this year.
Toku babies will morph our dreams come true.
Oh no!
Toku babies. I don't know the rest of the words
Because it doesn't exist
yet.
yet.
Um,
Yeah. So moving on to another comment, we got Steven Martinez at Random Nines fan who said my audio clip didn't save, but I want to say congrats Ranger Command Power Hour on 200 regular episodes. Thank you for your hard work being an honest group of people in the fandom. Whether it's good or bad, you let it be known. I have always said that you guys have gone me through some high and low moments of my life. I hear you guys so much to the point that my wife said our baby will recognize your voices before she recognizes ours. LOL. I look forward to whatever the three of you have planned for the podcast and will always have my support. So I guess to ask a question, if the brand just makes MMPR the focus, do you think after the 30th anniversary, they should just pass the MMPR powers to a new generation of teenagers that have no relation to the original team?
I think
Yes.
that'd be an interesting way
Yeah.
to go about it.
Let's just Degrassi this shit. Ooh. And just the Power Rangers, the next
For
generation.
some reason, I just imagined AP like with goggles, and just she takes the goggles down. Let's Degrassi this shit.
I was drinking water and you're like, MMPR, the next generation. I almost spit out my water. I know there's Degrassi, the next generation, but I was just thinking of Star Trek.
Tyler MC
I mean,
in
it
chat
doesn't even
says,
have to be like their kids, but just like I feel like it could work.
Yeah.
Tyler MC says, Toku Baby's new podcast idea.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, who knows? There might be a Toku Dads podcast in the future. We have no idea.
Yeah, I'm exempt. But to answer Steve's question, Steve, yeah, that's right, Steven, hi, Steven. Yeah, you're who I'm talking about. Yeah, I think that'd be a cool idea. Is if they're going to focus on MMPR, why not just have some kind of update to the powers and have a new team?
I think it would be cool if they did something like that, where maybe the Mighty Morphin powers become like a generational power set, and they're able to maybe do another transfer of power kind of thing, and literally move it to the next generation. I would love it if the Morphin grid gave them like an updated suit design or like a variation, because the comics have done that a lot too. Like the Pink miniseries, they had those cool power sets coming from the pink energy of the pterodactyl coin, and they all had like pink trim, and there's like hoodies, and it just was like a remix style. And I think those suits are so classic that you could really do like a unique take on it.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool. But who knows? I have no idea what Hasbro's doing. No one does.
I don't even think Hasbro knows.
Yeah, at this point, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Moving on to a next question. Steve F. at Hit People Guy. It's funny. All these people are in the chat right now. This is great. Hey, folks, just a question. What pet projects do you have that you want to work on besides Ranger Command Power Hour? Anything that has you itching to create? Well, I'm doing articles and stuff for Effin' Cool.
Yeah.
I'm still streaming on Twitch. I know I haven't been active the past couple weeks on Twitch for Lunchtime Gaming. And I don't know how that's going to be. Like, I might do like more nighttime streams, like when the baby's here. I might do more streaming in June. I might do less. I have no idea. And then obviously, I mean, like my wife and I have talked about, our own podcast, and we recorded some, the pandemic happened, whatever. So maybe relaunching that. Because now we do have a kid, and maybe we can provide some, perspective on that as nerdy parents. And then what else? Obviously I still want to do Ranger Command. It's a timing issue, and, it may just become less of a priority for me. Otherwise, I'm going to focus more on, side projects for graphic design, whether it's Power Rangers related or not. So I've got a lot that I can cook on my plate. But yeah, that's for me.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to get back into, like, part of my background is like the arts. That's what my degree is in. That's what I did for the longest time. And I want to get back into that somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just writing or doing creative things. That's kind of what I want to do outside of Ranger Command.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Tangentially kind of related to that, I mean, creative writing aspect of it. I've been homebrewing my own D&D world. I've been coming up with, like, here are the continents, the towns, the important historical events.
You're building like a whole like D&D universe.
A whole world, yeah. Wow. And I've been feeling a little bit of burnout with that lately, but with Ranger Command kind of, coming on to the back burner a little bit, I think I want to double down and try and refocus some energy into creating more for my D&D world. I definitely want to maybe run a game again long term. I was going to start one with some folks from Twitter, some great folks, even a few we've had on the show a couple times. But I was feeling a massive burnout at the time, and I just couldn't to be a DM is to be a writer, an actor, a storyteller, and a cat wrangler all at the same time. And I was just like not feeling it for a bit, and so I definitely want to try and see if I can recapture that energy. Keep writing about my world. Maybe get together with the guy who DMs the game I play in on Monday nights and see if I can get his perspective on things. And because the world we play in on Monday nights is a world he created, and
okay.
He's trying to get published as a setting, and so I definitely think that if I get together with him and maybe pick his brain about teach me, oh wise D&D master,
Obi-Wan.
yeah, be my Obi-Wan and teach me about D&D. So yeah, I definitely want to kind of get back into that world for sure. It's a struggle to kind of right now find that energy.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanna get back into it because I love D&D. I love D&D so much, you guys.
And my name is Sean in the chat said, speaking of D&D, Stranger Things rules. Did the new season drop?
New season dropped on Friday, yeah.
Oh God, I'm so behind. I was so focused on Obi-Wan. I was like, let's go Obi-Wan.
Yeah, same. I've gotta get another month of Netflix this week and get on Stranger Things.
Sounds good. We do have kind of a serious question in the chat from Tony Izzo, and thank you, Tony, for joining the chat and watching. We really appreciate it. He said, I asked this elsewhere, so I want to know here, is it okay to still meet Power Ranger actors when it comes to conventions and comic book stores, despite criticisms or concerns, i.e. political views or business practices? Here's the thing. If you want to support who you want to support, that I don't think there's a problem with it.
It's a personal choice.
It's a supremely personal choice. I know from my experience, I got a lot of the signatures and autographs and pictures that I wanted from some of these now, maybe problematic people. I got this back in 2014, late 2000s, early 2010s, at some of the earlier PMCs and other conventions, like LexCon, Lexington Convention, another great experience. I remember the road trip that Zach and I took. That was awesome. And that's an episode of the podcast in the archives. So for me, I'm not obligated to support someone that I don't either like their views on certain political things or whatever. So it's definitely a personal choice. I'm not going to judge anyone who meets Austin St. John or who, hangs out with someone I have a problem with, because it's their personal choice. I have a problem with them. I don't have a problem with their fans. The only thing
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
Yeah, so I think whoever you want to see or meet, and I know there's that phrase, never meet your heroes, but meet your heroes, make them real, and if you catch them on a good day, great. If you catch them on a bad day, it's another reminder that they're real people too, and they have their own flaws, they have their own emotions, and they are not the people that they play on TV or movies. Some of them can be great people. Some of them can be not so great. And so whether you want to choose to support someone, it's all up to you. But like for me, I'm never going to judge someone. Like if there's like a line of ASJ fans at PMC, I'm not going to judge them, because at one point I was in their shoes. Look, he was the Red Power Ranger for me when I was a kid. Like Jason, Mighty Morphin, Jason Lee Scott. Oh my God. Awesome leader of the Power Rangers. Amazing. And I got to meet him. I got to shake Austin St. John's hand. I got to take a picture with him. And then any fallout that was after that, that's on me, whatever. but I'm never going to disparage someone from meeting someone that they looked up to. Just, get a picture with them, whatever.
And just because you're a fan of someone doesn't mean you agree with everything they do either.
Exactly.
You're a fan of you can be a fan of their work without necessarily being a fan of them as a person.
Exactly. It's that divorce between character and person that has to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And again, same with me. The first time I met Austin St. John, it was that exact experience of, oh my God, the Red Ranger. Holy cow, this is awesome. Holy cow, we're talking and hanging out. Holy cow, this is the greatest night of my life.
Well, that was off the con floor.
Yeah.
I remember that PMC.
Yeah, that PMC will live on in infamy. But, learning what we have learned over the course of the last few years about Austin St. John, yeah, he's not exactly a great person in my eyes. Mm-hmm. I disagree with a vast majority of things he believes in.
Mm-hmm.
And it is unfortunate to learn that, hey, listen, your heroes, they're fallible. They're people. People are fallible. It sucks. But trying to hold them to some kind of superhuman standard of
it's impossible.
But he's the Red Ranger. The Red Ranger would never. You're right. The Red Ranger would never. But he is not the Red Ranger. He is a man. He is a man who played a character.
He is Jason Lawrence Geiger.
Jason Lawrence Geiger.
Exactly.
And
he's not even Austin St. John.
Jason Lee Scott did not screw up. Jason Lawrence Geiger screwed up.
And Database Ranger with another great point. He said, I think that your interactions between yourself and any actor is totally up to you, so long as your attachment to an actor doesn't lead you to treat other fans harshly for choosing differently. Perfectly said.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Perfectly said. Moving on, we have the second Batgirl is perfectly queer at the second Batgirl, who said, no audio from me, but just a thank you for having me on your show way back when, and for all the content y'all have provided in the years since. You've done so much good. Little text heart.
Thank you.
And we already listened to Josh, the Toku fan. We saw his video, and if you didn't see the video on stream, I'm sorry, technical difficulties. With his permission, I might just post it on social. But I think if there are no more questions in the chat, we can start bringing some people in. So let me see. We've got some people who have wanted to join, and we'll bring them into the podcast.
Color number 5 now. Win tickets to it.
No, look, I tried to do a giveaway. Oh,
and a twist. You won't see coming.
A twist.
And gone.
And gone. Let me. All right. Let me start bringing people in. I gotta go to my DMs.
I like the order of operations that happened there, AP, where you realized you had to turn off your mic, to remove the cover, to put your mask on, to turn on the mic.
I didn't want to accidentally show my face. Or did I already show my face?
Bum, bum,
Bum,
bum.
bum. All right, so I did send out.
Also, not gonna lie, I had to check how I looked on camera before I did that. There was a method to what I did.
There's a whole method.
A method to the madness.
So we're still taking questions in chat. We'll get some people in here. Our first guest.
Ooh.
We've got Mason.
Our first caller, which is weird because this is not a call-in show. No, I'm kidding.
Or is it?
It is today, Mr. Mason Merrill.
Heyo.
Hey, Mason.
Hey!
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Hey.
Good. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome to the craziness that is Ranger Command 200. And I'm going to bring in another guest.
Oh,
All
my
right.
gosh.
So here we go.
It's party time.
We got Dr. Ben himself.
Dr. Ben.
Dr. Ben.
Well, hello.
Heyo.
Dr. Ben.
Hi, everyone.
How's it going?
Hi,
Good, how are you?
guys.
Good. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, I was gonna say like
Oh, echo
there.
mute that.
It's like, I didn't talk. What happened? So I got to say, by request from my 3-year-old, I had to put on the Zeomorph.
Yes.
So I told him I was jumping in on this. So yeah, he was like, "You got to throw this on." So there we go.
How's it going?
All right, Ben, I'm getting an echo from your side. If you want to,
Mute that.
where's that coming from?
Yeah, I think it's coming from Ben.
I'm not sure. Okay.
He's gonna plug in the hard wire.
There we go.
It'll be fine.
But Mason, you're morphing into Zeo powers.
Yeah, Zeo green. I'll be clear. I don't want to be red. I don't want to be.
Hey, Adam is one of the best Zeo
Adam
Rangers.
is the man. I'll just put it there. So
I'm problematic by nature.
And then we got one
Oh,
more.
dear.
One more person.
Oh man, here we go. And the 6th Ranger is
We got Tyler.
Tyler.
I like how there's like a waiting period, like connecting
Yeah.
to audio.
yeah,
Adam's one of the best Rangers, period.
Oh
I
yeah.
agree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
that's why I had to be Zeo green.
Makes sense to me.
Tyler,
Yes.
what's up, man? He's just staring at the camera. You all
Do
right?
you have headphones? Question.
Dude. Uh-oh. Got to get one of those, buddy.
Contemplative nature of Tyler Bozetsky as he's muted.
Yeah, we can't hear you, man.
Yeah, no.
All right. What? What? Okay. We'll put you in. We'll put you in the waiting room for now. Or it says
He's
reconnecting.
connecting. He's connecting
Hello?
to audio.
And now it says muted.
Wait.
We maybe needed an instruction manual.
Well, it's live. It's live.
Yeah.
We wouldn't
Doing
be
it
Ranger
live.
Command without technical difficulties. So this is just
Even
this is
even
just on
200
brand.
episodes later, yeah, this is fully on brand.
We'll never
All right.
learn.
There.
Hey, there we go.
Yes.
We
There
can
we
hear
go.
him.
What's up, man? How's it going?
Nothing much. I actually just decided to hop on this like literally an hour before you guys went live, and I'm like, why not?
Sure.
Yeah.
What's
Okay.
going on?
Absolutely nothing.
First time on the show. Yeah, I mean you're watching
Sounds on
us.
brand.
So, thank you guys for being here. This is awesome. I didn't know how I was gonna do this. I didn't know if I was, because I know like Mason has the setup. I know Ben's been on, so he knows the drill with Zoom. Tyler, you're here now, and we can hear you, so that's great. Yeah,
Will you ever do this again?
probably not. No, not last minute like this, but
I'm watching the YouTube stream and I'm thinking like, oh yeah, you should do this all the time. And I'm like, no.
yeah, it would be a mess. It would be
It's
such
chaos.
a mess.
It is unfiltered chaos.
Yeah, so if people are still in the chat, if you have any questions, throw it in the chat. We have an opportunity for everyone to answer. But I want to throw it back because, you guys are not only listeners, but, also guest co-hosts. I want to ask you guys if you have a favorite moment of the podcast or a favorite episode or discussion.
Well, I'll start.
So
I think
I'll throw it back.
yeah, no, a lot of the just in general, just a lot of the 2020 content you guys put out. One of my favorite podcasts was Dr. Ben's podcast. You guys did. I think you guys were just really informing a lot and all that, and just really appreciate bringing it to real life a little bit, and but while also mixing it up and having fun with this franchise and stuff like that. So it's really cool, and you guys have one thing I really appreciate about this show is you guys have kept it so clean throughout the years. You've done a really good job of that. And, I've listened forever, and I've had kids in the meantime, and they listen with me now too. So they really enjoy it. So, just congrats on 200 episodes, and just, really appreciate everything you've put together and the hard work you've put into it.
Yeah.
Don't have your kids listen to our eventual Power Rangers universe.
It's just gonna be like bleep bleep. The show went bleep bleep.
I'm glad that you're giving us until July so I can write some poems about my issues with that book.
Invent some new swears in the meantime.
And,
yes.
And that's the thing. Like if we do have Nicole Andolfinger on, because I've been trying with Boom. They even said, even before the first issue came out, hey, are you interested in interview opportunity? And I'll never say no to an interview opportunity. And then I would follow up with them. Like issue 2 came out, issue 3 came out. I'm like, hey, we're halfway through the comic. Are we going to get an interview with her? And then 4, 5. And then when 6, like right before 6, I just reached out one more time, and I said, hey, the series is about to end, would love to have her on the show to talk about it, to dissect it. And they even said, oh, sure. Like we'll give you the whole issue preview copy way in advance, even before the advance that they normally give the week before. And they said, yeah, we can do this in early May, set it up. We'll give you the issue to read, and that way you can form your thoughts. It's the end of May, and I never heard back from them. So, and that's the thing. I'm not sure if it's maybe she is just too busy, or maybe she just doesn't want to do interviews. I have no idea. But I wanted to at least give the chance of like, hey, what were some of the I knocked my mic. But no, it's like, hey, what are some of the creative decisions that were made? What were the compromises? What was the process to go through all that? So. I always want to give creators a chance to, talk about their work, and, especially like, Ryan Parrott. I mean, he's been such a great guest on Ranger Command. I mean, he's literally just become like a friend almost. And, having a 3-hour discussion with him, you don't see that on a lot of other podcasts. So, I've always been thankful for him taking a chance on us, to continue to talk about the comics.
Yeah, he is just so, I love his explanations about the comics, and that 3-hour podcast was definitely one of my favorite episodes you've done, because he was having a lot of fun. You were having a lot of fun breaking it all down, and it just brings so much more context to the book. So, right. I really think that, when they're going to email you about having the writer for Universe on, it'll be June 10th.
Yeah, it'll be right when the baby's here.
Right.
Ben, how about you? Any favorite episodes?
Well, first of all, Mason, thank you so much for those kind words.
Thank you.
And I would say my very first time I actually ever spoke on a podcast, I think, period, was actually that episode. Mm-hmm. And like, I'm so happy that like I reached out to you when you were very angry about not getting an Xbox Series X, and I could be like, well, do you want to talk about COVID for a bit? No, but like, my favorite isn't. COVID has obviously consumed my entire life right now. Mm-hmm. Just like everything that I'm doing, it relates to it, and all the research that I do, it relates to it. And so like any opportunity that I have that I don't have to do any of that stuff, like I relish in. And so like getting to come on for PR Universe, or no, not PR Universe, PR
just the comics, yeah,
mm-hmm. The comics, and like, and just the most recent one with the Imperials and everything like that. Like I love that stuff. But even like in like the 3-hour Ryan Parrott interview, just like getting to have that, the interview that you guys did with the Supermassive crew, that was awesome. But even like pulling back from Ranger Command Power Hour, I will always like think fondly of the first time that you and I actually met, and like the very first like conversation that you and I had on Skype.
Yeah.
Like that like big like 3 to 4 5 almost 5 hour jam session where you and I are just like meeting each other for the very first time, and we're like nerding out and like getting to know each other.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself like, oh my God, I feel like I've been trapped in this entire pandemic, and like I've made like a lifelong friend. And like that for me was like one of the bigger highlights of 2021.
And
and-
I mean, to expand on that, like, and like we said before, you know, this podcast, like, I talked to Mason on the regular, and then we started playing Fortnite, and it went all downhill or uphill from there. And, you know, we became friends. And Ben, yeah, getting to talk with you and just kind of hanging out before we record an episode was awesome. And it's that's such a great feeling, because we've all met so many people through the podcast and through the fandom. And, you know, that's why I love like our corner of the fandom, because it's like just meeting so many wonderful people and being to surround ourselves with, you know, great people. And even the comic stuff. Like, I think the comics are the best piece of media that Power Rangers has had in the past 5 years.
150,000%.
Yeah, definitely.
It is bar none what's keeping me in the franchise. That's it.
Yeah, well, I was talking to you the other day, Eric, about this, you know, ASJ stuff or whatever. And,
Yeah.
you know, Ryan and Kyle have given way more context to Jason Lee Scott than we ever got in the show.
Yep.
You know, and with the situation with his dad and all those kinds of things. And those things I just appreciate so much, you know, having that extra bit of media, because it's really built out this universe in the way that, you know, for us as adults, that we can really grasp onto and enjoy.
Yeah, and there's so many people that don't read the comics that just see that it's just Mighty Morphin, or like, oh, even the comics are all about Mighty Morphin. Why don't they just expand from that? You know, why don't they do an SPD series or a Lost Galaxy series? And it's like, yeah, but if you took the time to read the comics, like, they have fleshed out these characters so much, like their personal lives and their high school lives and their lives as Rangers that we didn't get to see in the show. And, you know, you want to talk about headcanons, you can go on for headcanons for days about connecting the show to this comics universe and vice versa. So yeah, the comics have been a amazing medium for the franchise.
I think it's also important to like say, like, in some instances, and not obviously not in all, you can separate the art from the artist. And
Right.
like, look, no offense to ASJ, Jason Geiger, whatever you want to call him, but like he's not the artist in all of this. Like, he's an actor, he showed up for a paycheck,
Right.
he did a good
Mhm.
job, but like the character of Jason is like so far removed from who he is. I
Right.
feel that it's not even night and day. In terms of separating the art from the artist from Mel Gibson, that's impossible for me. Like,
Mhm.
dude's a jerk. But like I'll never watch anything with him ever again. But like, I think that you have to take a look at Power Rangers in the sense of like, okay, take a look at it from the sense of everybody else that worked on that and that made that whole thing happen.
Right.
Like all the producers that made that happen, all the like all the people involved with the music, all the people involved in the stunts and everything like that. Like, that's like, it's not just the actors.
Mm-hmm.
The actors are an important part, but it's not just them. And what made Jason Lee Scott, Austin St. John did not make Jason Lee Scott.
Yeah,
Right.
it was. Yeah, it took a
Does
village.
that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
and that's not like, aside from all the awfulness of like him, I'm talking about just in general with almost all the Power Ranger actors as well.
Right.
You know, Power Rangers is a sum of all the parts.
Right.
Yeah, 100%. Tyler, what about you?
So, well, first of all, thanks for having me on here.
Yeah.
My dream has finally been fulfilled. No, I'm just kidding. That's an ongoing joke we have.
Right.
I'm not serious about that. So I think I started following you, Eric, right around 2013 when you did the 30 questions.
Oh yeah,
30
on
days
YouTube.
challenge.
Yeah, that's a lot of people don't remember. I had like a whole YouTube channel before I even did Ranger Command. So
Yeah. And then I remember you saying like, I want to start a podcast. And then come January 2014, there you go. I've been listening to it since day one. I've tried to catch most of the episodes. Admittedly, the only ones I haven't listened to is the comic ones because I have not read a Power Ranger comic since MMPR 42. Sorry. Yeah, really behind. But I'm sure they're great as all your others. But I would listen to it on my way to work or like doing dishes in the house or on my way to school or what have you. And I just really loved the community you guys brought. Like, I think I remember, or let me rephrase that, you brought attention to people out in the fandom that people may not know of or heard of. Like, I think with me, my first mention on your show was when G-Ranger came out on DVD, and I think I was the first one to get it from Shout Factory.
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh man, give us the deets on that.
Yellow subtitles, oh my god. But and then I think I met you in person at PMC 2014.
Yeah.
And then from there, we became friends. I would try to comment on your topics as much as I could. And those have been really my favorite episodes, is the topical ones, like whether it's like a breaking news story or like something we need to discuss or what have you. You always try to highlight as many people as possible, and I always liked that. A good chunk of the time, mine was included, no matter how big of a novel it was, or just like
yeah. You've sent me some Twitter novels, but that's the thing. We're serious when we do those like Ranger Nation answer questions. That's something I don't see a lot of podcasts do, is give a voice to their listeners. And that's the whole thing about the Power Rangers fandom, is that, we're a huge family, and there's like a lot of people that really latch on to Power Rangers as a community. And people have so many different perspectives. And that was my goal of day one of the podcast, was to highlight other people, whether that's, reading their comments on air or doing the Ranger Nation Spotlight episodes. And yeah.
And another thing I want to highlight is that you're very, like Mason said, very clean, and also very, like, you try to keep fandom drama out, because other Ranger podcasts I've seen or have been a part of before, I'm not going to get into that. You know what I'm talking about. Have like talked about either they were very dirty or just talked about fans negatively, which I feel that no matter what you think of them, that's very unprofessional and just very rude, because you don't know them like specifically enough to talk about them that way, unless they did something like really, really horrible.
Right.
Like, to me, like hating Lightspeed Rescue or loving Samurai isn't a reason to bash on someone. I mean, come on. That's
exactly.
petty. But I also liked how you kept it just like mellow. Like all three of you just kept it real mellow and just gave everybody just kept it positive even when it was negative. I'm a friend of yours, Eric, and I'm a friend of Zach's, and I'm co-writers with you guys on Effing Cool. So I think that's neat. I kind of I worked with you guys another way.
Yeah. So. And that's something that, also for the podcast, because I'll never forget when I went to C2E2 one time, and a mom like of a kid, like, tugged me on my shirt and was like, "Hey, my son listens to your podcast and he wants to meet you. Like, the whole reason we're at this convention is he saw you post that you were going to be at the show." And I mean, that's why I do it. I do want to run a clean show, because technically Power Rangers is for kids. Like, it's a kids audience. And I don't know who listens. We have so many listeners that we don't have on social media that, you know, there's people that aren't on social media that listen to us, or, you know, aren't very vocal that they listen to us. So I don't know who's listening. And the last thing I want to do is run up a curse storm and, you know, influence some kid that might be listening that just likes Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, I was talking about that episode with Ryan Parrott, and me and my 6-year-old listened to the whole thing because he is a huge fan of the comics.
That's amazing.
I call him my comics library because he picks it. I'm like, what was that part in that one? He's like, oh, I got it. Issue 9. Let me open it up right here for you. You know, so like he really enjoys the behind the scenes stuff and really understands all that kind of stuff. So yeah,
you've got a good sidekick.
Yeah, exactly. So keeping just that at a good, you know, at a good medium is really appreciative, you know, for guys like me, especially. So
I do want to shout out some comments. So Database Ranger said, I would still love to do a guest spot with you all at some point. You've done a great job highlighting the fandom, and yeah, Database, like whenever you're free, because I know life is crazy for you now too, and you know you're always busy with stuff, but yeah, we'd absolutely love to have you on the show at some point. My Name is Sean said, the John Green episode is one of my favorite episodes, that Ranger Nation Spotlight. Chris said, and this could be any one of multiple Chris's in the fandom.
800 Chris's in the Toku fandom.
So, but this
The
particular
bald Chris, the Toku Chris, the Chris from the other side.
But this particular Chris said you should interview Melissa Flores. Yeah, she's been a listener. She's you know, I've talked to her several times. Yeah, I'd love to have her on the show. I know she's got that upcoming comic, The Dead Lucky, part of the Massive Universe. So that would be amazing to catch up with her. And then Steve Martinez said, I really enjoy being in the Power Ranger or RCPH community. Made so many friends and found new interesting followers along the way. And then Database Ranger said to Tyler, I definitely have video evidence that Tyler was at PMC 2014. But yeah, I mean,
you should see if you can also get a Strawberry 17.
Yeah.
That'd be neat.
Yeah.
Any of the Hyperforce crew would be
Yeah,
neat
any
to
of the
have.
Hyperforce crew.
Oh man. Yeah, I would love to do like a Hyperforce retrospective or something. And hey, maybe if I talk to Melissa, maybe we can make that happen.
Yeah.
table, that'd be amazing. Yeah.
We could do one more episode of Hyperforce.
Resolve the nonsense with Thrax.
We could do an unofficial Hyperforce.
There we go.
Yeah.
You can even
Yeah,
call the
I dig it.
episode Resolve the Nonsense with Thrax.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I don't know where else to go.
I wanna know, like
Yeah.
realistically, like, do you really see, like, what do you see, like, the next year of Power Rangers really looking like? I'm throwing this to AP, I'm throwing this to Zach, I'm throwing this to Eric, I'm throwing this to Mason, all of you guys. Like, really, if this is going to be the last Ranger Command for a while, like, let's take a hard look and see, like, what we think we could maybe see. I'm hijacking your host duties.
No,
let's see what we can.
So
what we might, yeah.
basically, what do we want to see from a 30th anniversary season, or what we're expecting, or maybe both?
Hit me with what you want to see and what you're expecting.
Okay.
Want and reality.
Okay. Who wants to tackle this?
I'll go first because I
Okay.
got one kind of locked in the chamber. So what I would like to see is I would love to see some kind of reunion special, either a short series or a film or whatever. Something that like just Netflix puts out and it's like, hey, here's the remaining Ranger actors who are available. They're coming together. They're doing a special. It's a fun retrospective on the origins of the franchise. It's got fun little nods to the series history. And
So more, and not to interrupt, but more like the Friends reunion special, like where they all sat together and they were like recapping like
more
their history.
fictionalized, a fictionalized story.
Okay, so you
an
want
actual like a narrative like it's
You want an
Angel Grove
episode.
High's 30th anniversary or 30th high school
Reunion.
reunion or
Yeah.
whatever.
Okay.
And we get Kimberly, Jason, Tommy, all the we get the characters.
got it. Okay, got it.
Would like that. Would love that in an ideal world, and then maybe spin off from that into the next adaptation as a series.
Adaptation
what
of
I'm-
Mighty Morphin.
Not adaptation of Mighty Morphin, but like if they choose another Sentai to adapt.
Got it.
Like
Okay.
have that somehow be tied in with, oh well, hey, I was working on these new powers based on the old Zeo crystals, and here's Akira Major adaptation.
Right.
Which would be like
Don't give them too many ideas. They can't use them.
it'd be the
Yeah,
easiest
man.
way. It'd be the easiest way. Like if I was running it, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
But what I'm expecting is a big wet fart. Honestly, I'm expecting zero. I'm expecting what you just said. A cast. Hey, we all got together and talked about the show, and that's it.
I want to see ASJ and JDF go to blows on whatever Ranger special.
I actually think it's more unlikely that we're gonna get a cast retrospective of them sitting on a couch and like
Yeah.
I think that is going to be even harder to pull off.
I mean, they definitely wouldn't be sitting together. I think it would be a
Right.
hey,
That's
we
what
got
I'm saying.
ASJ alone in one room for an hour to talk, and we got JDF in one room for an hour to talk, and he wouldn't let us go for some reason. But it's like I think that I think the 30th anniversary. I'm expecting it to be a big wet nothing, like just.
AP, what do you want, and then what do you expect from 30th?
Okay, so what I want is kind of almost like what Zach said, like a reunion special with whoever they can get, because that would be nice. I'm honestly not the biggest fan of Mighty Morphin, but I did grow up with it a little bit. I respect it, and it would be nice to get whoever they can back together for this big milestone of the franchise. What I am expecting is like maybe like a couple like a cameo or something somewhere, or just nothing at all. But that's just like my nature, honestly. Sometimes I like expect the worst, and then that way I'm not disappointed. Which is not the healthiest way to look at things, but honestly, that's just kind
pessimists.
of at this point. This is what I'm like, kind of. That's like my outlook on it. Is like I'm expecting like the worst out of the franchise, so that way I'm not like disappointed.
I mean,
like,
with
and
Dino Fury,
honestly,
we've
like
gotten so spoiled.
Yeah, like after Dino Fury, I feel like
if Dino Fury
kinda
doesn't if Dino Fury doesn't go out with a bang, I'm going to be very, very disappointed.
Oh no, I think they'll go out with a bang. I have faith in Simon. In Simon we trust. But and Becca and Alwyn and all the other cast and crew, of course. But credit where it's due. But I feel like his announcement a few months ago or whatever of hey, working on Power Rangers was fun. Like that's the nail in the coffin for me of like, hey, they don't want to continue working with the best creative talent they've had on the show in a
decade.
Long time.
A decade.
Oh, that's rough. That's gonna be a bad sign.
I feel like anything that happens, it's going to have a tough. Dino Fury is going to be a tough one to beat. I don't know if they could do it. Depends on the direction they take the whole franchise. We don't know what's coming with this whole new universe thing. We don't know if it is still happening.
Didn't they like announce that it's not in great shape?
That wouldn't shock me. I think there's like rumors floating around.
Yeah, there's so many rumors out there right now.
Yeah. Okay.
But what so for me, what do I want? I want Hasbro to do a balls to the wall 30th anniversary, just every other week or most of the year leading up to Power Rangers Day. I want a big announcement. I want products. I want just whatever. It's Fan First Fridays that blow me away. What do I expect? I'm kind of with Zach. A wet fart. Because it just feels like there is, and I hate to be negative. I really hate to be negative. And I just feel that Hasbro is not putting enough into the brand, because I think that last live stream, I was like, well, you guys think that the brand is a joke, and you're just treating it like an episode of Buzz Blast, but not even saying anything about Dino Fury, your current season, which is, by all accounts, according to them themselves, the viewership is there and it's blowing their expectations up and the sales are there. So why don't you talk about it? Why don't you talk about your current season? So just with what I've seen from Hasbro in the past 2.5 years, I'm not very optimistic about it. So what I want the world in the sky for Power Rangers. I want promotion. I want it to be on talk shows. I want, a big 30th anniversary adaptation. I know they said, we're not doing Q Ranger, but how freaking cool would it be to have Q Ranger that references and touches part of every single part of the Power Rangers universe? You literally have a space season where they could bring in all the past planets that have been featured in Power Rangers. You could do this epic send-off.
Costumes are dope.
Just make, like, if In Space was like your greatest fan aside from Mighty Morphin, if everyone thinks that In Space is the greatest season, by all accounts, you have a adaptation served on a silver platter that deals all about space. It's all centered around space.
But they thought that space was going to be their last one.
Right.
In
so
chat, real quick,
if
No,
In
that's true.
Space was
fair,
their
yeah.
last one, then make another space season your actual last adaptation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In chat, Sir Paladin said, we'd be lucky to get something as good as Dimensions in Danger.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Honestly.
how
I feel that. I feel that.
All right.
Mason,
Yeah.
Mason, what about you?
Yeah, Mason. I was going to go Mason next.
For me, what I would want a mentor season where we have a legendary ranger mentoring
Billy.
from very
Billy.
early on.
Billy.
Well,
Yeah.
I would
yeah,
love
that
it.
would be ideal. Billy, with a team of past Rangers, but in the newer seasons, the bright spots of the newer seasons. So
Oh.
like Izzy, Devin, Zoe, some of these newer seasons bring a new team together, either with their suits from those perspective
Or
seasons
new power set.
or new power set. So like a legendary season, Peter Sidarso from Ninja Steel, these type of things, bring them all back together with a legendary mentor. That's what I would want to see. What I think we're going to see, and it doesn't even have to be a full series, just like a mini series or something, 8 episodes, nothing, just a mission they have to go on that leads episode to episode, almost like a Netflix type series. It is on Netflix now. So, just that, something that is
You know
like
what?
a
That would
really
feel
awesome,
that would
epic
feel
send-off.
like a Once a Ranger miniseries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
all the different
Right.
suits, but coming
Right.
together. That would be
Yeah,
amazing.
Exactly. So this legendary ranger, whether it's Carter or Billy or one
Oh
of
my
these,
God! Can we
awesome-
get Sean
Yeah.
Johnson back? Like for real?
That
Yeah,
would be
seriously.
awesome.
When
yeah,
you get
so,
Sean Johnson back, you're gonna hear AP screaming all the way from the
yeah, right.
Well,
I'm just gonna quit. Like it's just
Well-
nothing can top that.
well, maybe we can finally get a Lightning Collection figure
Yeah.
of Lightspeed.
Yeah.
What I think we're gonna get is something that nods to Mighty Morphin, obviously.
Mhm.
Whether it's a couple returning or all of them returning. I don't think it's possible at this point to have all of them return, but that would be cool. But yeah, just something that's a nod to that, and maybe a special or just like 1 or 2 episodes, and then maybe something entirely new for a few episodes, or not even, maybe just that special 30th, and then they're going to move into if they have plans for the new season. That's what I think we're going to get. Just nothing like a 45-minute special of, I saw somebody said we'll be lucky to get something as good as Dimensions in Danger. If they did an hour-long episode similar to Dimensions in Danger, I would be happy with that, but I don't even think we're going to get that. So
No, we're going to get that Fox TV behind-the-scenes Mighty Morphin Power Rangers
Right.
the movie. That's what we're going to get.
Tyler, what about you?
Okay, so what I want. So pretty much like what Mason said, I'd want to have like. So firstly, if it is on track, I'm glad they're ending at an even number, because if they ended after Down of Fury, I've been like, okay then.
29 seasons is an odd
29
number.
seasons, yeah.
Messes up my OCD. I get it.
Yeah, but historically, each season that has been the final season, and there's been like 4 or 5, In Space, Wild Force, Jungle Fury, technically.
RPM.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those have
RPM.
all been like good send-offs. Well, Jungle Fury maybe, I don't know, but at least RPM at that has been the good like send-off and made everything feel complete. So same thing could probably be for the season 30, and kind of what I want to see is kind of like a Once a Ranger miniseries, and I would have it be like an ensemble cast, and I've actually have already thought of who I'd want, because I thought yeah.
I mean, if you pitch it, I don't know if it's going to happen. But
Yeah, don't pitch it just in case they're listening. And
Right,
they can't
right.
use it. That's a terrible idea.
And then what do you expect, Tyler?
I expect I don't know.
Okay.
Pretty much like Hasbro right now. I don't know.
Okay.
Because it's all kind of up in the air.
Mm.
And I think it's telling that they don't even know what to do with it, because all these fan first events, it's different people every time. They keep rotating that department. I mean, they had listings for a brand and assistant brand manager. I think that says something right there. Maybe they shouldn't have gotten rid of Jason Bischoff and Melissa Flores. That's just me, but that happens. And Paul Strickland, he ran Twitter.
right.
He still works for Hasbro, but he's not in Power Rangers anymore. He's actually for Transformers and Monopoly. Last time I looked, so
Yeah, and we talked about those LinkedIn positions or those job postings on their site, and it's like, okay, cool, but you better find someone in those positions fast, because you got a 30th anniversary to plan.
exactly.
In terms of what I would like, I kind of would like something similar to what Mason and Tyler said, and like what we sort of expanded on, sort of a Once a Ranger thing, but not as a season. I'm fine with that sort of idea being in a Dimensions in Danger sort of respect, but, and this is going to sound a little narrow, bring back the Rangers that are involved in STEM. Science, technology, electronic math, and everything like that. Because then you have Billy as a mentor for that. And you're bringing back Kendall Morgan.
Yes.
You're bringing back
Mayor
Kendricks.
Morgan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bring back Kendricks, and then you can show that they're related or something. I don't know. But like you can bring back like the STEM group, which may seem very narrow focused, but you can tie it in a way where you can show that and this might be like too mature of an idea, but like, okay, maybe Billy's powers are like draining his life force or something like that, and then the STEM Rangers have to like work together to find a way to prevent that from happening or something like that. Like bring the science technology aspect of Power Rangers that you've used so much in so many seasons,
Yeah.
and make a special episode about that.
Yeah.
That I think I would like to see. Here's what I see as reality. Pinatas.
Just pinatas.
Stole that joke from them.
Yeah.
Oh.
it's like a multiverse where all the Rangers are just pinatas.
They're pinatas.
If you've seen
They're
Doctor Strange, you know what I'm referring to.
Yes. Tumbling through the pinataverse. Yeah.
In the chat, my name is Sean, says, I think it'd be cool if whatever they did for the 30th anniversary built up and led into the Entwistle project. Be creative, have the Rangers / villains reset the universe.
Yeah, I love that. And it's something like what Star Trek, like the JJ Universe did. Like that 2009 movie was connected to the Prime timeline, but then it branched off and the characters even recognized that they were in an alternate universe. So do that. Like you already have the multiverse, not only in Power Rangers with RPM being in a different dimension, and they built things up over the years, like Dimensions in Danger, like you know,
the Dino Charge universe.
The Dino Charge universe.
Yeah.
They already have a universe. You have the comics universe now. I would love if somehow they made some of the comic exclusive Rangers live action.
Oh man, could you imagine
like if the Omega
live
Rangers
action?
show up, or if Ranger Slayer shows up, I'd lose my mind in live action.
Oh yeah,
That'd be
for
nuts.
sure.
But they won't.
So what do you think that they're going to do for the 30th anniversary for the comics? You know, we already had Shattered Grid. You don't replicate that again.
I think this
that's a
charge,
one-time thing.
I think this charge to 100, even though it's not in a 30th anniversary year, I think this is either, and I don't want to say it's the end of Power Rangers comics because obviously they're very happy with the sales and all that stuff. But I would almost want whatever this charge to 100 ends up being. I hope this kicks off the next era for the comics. And that's when we get like a big 30th anniversary. They already did a 20th anniversary special of short stories issue. I would love for them to do that again for the 30th anniversary. Bring back different
20th
writers.
Or 25th?
It was the 25th because the comics have only been around for like
I was just saying 20.
Yeah.
The comics really been around 10 years and I missed it. Oh, jeez.
Wow.
But like a 25th anniversary issue, do a 30th anniversary issue because
Be cool.
Because Matt and Michael from Ranger Danger, they had a story in the 25th anniversary issue, and now Matt's a full-time writer on the comic.
Can I just say,
and he's referencing that story in the current issues.
Can I just say that is one of the coolest success stories I've ever heard. Just like,
I'm so happy for those guys because they are,
me too.
Because they are the nicest guys and they are awesome. So that's like the biggest Power Rangers podcast success story.
we mentioned previously that, or I brought up, like, what do you think that we're going to get a time jump after the charge to 100?
If charge to 100 leads to both titles merging again, and it's like if Matt carries on as the creative team and Ryan steps away so he can focus on Massiveverse, if they merge the titles again, I'm expecting a time jump. I'm expecting a time jump into Zeo or the ninja powers. Yeah.
Do you want, like, I want to hear from everybody. Do you guys want a time jump? Is that something that you would want? Like, because I feel like we've done enough with the Thunder stuff. Honestly.
Yeah. I really want to see that Ninja Zord in action in the comics, but with that said, I wouldn't mind a time jump or, you know, jump to a different series or something like that. I know they're not just going to blow up what they're doing right now, but like, if they did do, what would be cool if Matt would adapt Ryan's kind of writing style, if they did a time jump, but in the first few pages did like,
there's always a flashback to
flashbacks to the between. Yeah, I think that would be cool. And then we get like this kind of new-ish story to see, but it's like that show Lost where they like flash back to see how they got here.
And then they did flash forwards.
Right. And then so like, anyway, I don't know. I think that would be cool personally.
Yeah, I don't keep up with the comics, so I really don't have a pony in this race. But I mean, I love the Ninja Power set. Some of my favorite stuff in the show and of course the movie. I was so hyped yesterday when I found Ninja Blue and Ninja Black at my local Target, which is amazing because my local Target never has anything. And so finding those figures, I was just like, well, that's $60 I'm spending because I want this.
That's rad. Yeah.
And so I think the ninja powers would be a cool way to go for sure.
AP.
Oh, sorry. I got distracted.
That's fine.
Good distracted, bad.
Good distracted. No.
Alright.
Just like I was just kind of scrolling through like fandom tweets and
See if
What
there's
have
any
you?
breaking news that we need to break live on stream.
no. Nothing too exciting. I think just what was happening. Some kind of Star Wars thing just happened. I don't know if anybody's into that.
There's
Oh,
a
I know
whole- the whole-
Celebration is still
it's
going
Celebration.
Yeah, Celebration's going on. I think today
They're announcing several
Sunday,
different
so-
things.
But
Yeah.
that's
Oh man, some of those trailers. Ooh.
that's all I've seen. Yeah, sorry, I did not even hear the
on. No,
Power Rangers
topic.
comics. What do you want to see?
do you want a time jump?
Yeah.
Power
From
Rangers.
season
Okay,
two.
so that's why I tuned out. I apologize. I am so far behind in the comics.
Yeah.
I honestly, I think the last one I read was maybe what was it called? Soul of
the last one I
the Soul of
read
the
was-
Dragon. I think I
Oh,
read that
wow.
one.
Yeah.
I love
Um,
Soul of the Dragon because it was in continuity with the show universe.
Yeah.
Like I loved actual future Tommy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love if they did something like that in the show. Just throwing that out there. Some kind of like future
Like
flash forward thing.
oh man. And then you could age up some of the veteran Rangers or whoever.
Yeah, they can actually like kind of play their age maybe a little bit. I don't know.
You know, we were talking about some of the people that were like some of the jobs listings. This is an odd question. Do you think that the whole NFT debacle really put a big damper on the brand, and like maybe they had a bunch of plans based off of that, and then they all had to get sort of trashed because of the poor reception or something? Or is that too microscopic of a viewpoint?
I
Yeah.
like just personally, I'm just going to say it would not shock me if they had many more plans for the NFT situation. I think a lot of companies believe it is a lot more popular than it actually is.
Mhm.
Right.
And like it just wouldn't shock me if they did have a lot of plans for that and had to scrap them.
I
That's
wouldn't.
just
I had a thing come through today that was like Disney announces Star Wars NFTs, and I'm like, y'all not read the news? Like NFTs are done. NFTs crashed and burned, and people are getting their stuff stolen, and the market is dropping to a laughable amount of like, I bought this NFT for $3 million. I can only sell it for like 2,000. Wah wah.
Personally,
NFT is not the market to get into.
Yeah.
yeah. Personally, from a business standpoint, I don't. I think that was just a test, a complete test to see how people would react to it. If people jumped on board, yeah, we'll whip these things up for every Zap Megazord, kind of thing. So, but personally, I don't think they had a ton of plans for it that like for Lightning Collection and show things and things like that, because that's a lot of money to put into something that's just
It's so
that
volatile
just
right now.
completely be scrapped. Yeah, and that would
I
just
mean,
be
like, I don't mean like concrete plans. I mean more like
written.
Yeah.
like
written down.
sort of like brainstorming type situations. Maybe nothing was concrete. Maybe they were silently hoping it would do a lot better than it did.
But that's the thing though, like when you look back at that live stream when they announced the Zap NFT, those guys looked just so out of it. Like they were just like, this is our job. Look at this thing. Cool, buy it maybe. Like just the enthusiasm wasn't there. So I'm like, well, if you don't have faith in the NFT Zap Megazord, then why should any of us? So
Yeah.
I think it was something that they were forced to do from some much higher up in the company.
And that wouldn't put a damper on Power Rangers, if at all. It would be a damper on Hasbro itself.
Yeah.
Because like it
Yeah.
wouldn't matter if it was like G.I. Joe or Transformers or even something like Star Wars or like My Little Pony. It wasn't a good idea.
Right.
to begin with, and not from what I've seen, not many people were invested in it anyway. Like I think on the Facebook groups, I saw maybe like 2 people. And
Yeah.
like, that was it. I'm like, yeah, that's probably like how many
And
actually did.
I think Josh, Living Ranger Key, like when he was checking the site where you could actually redeem the NFT,
Mhm.
I mean, they didn't even get like 25% of the people to redeem it. They had to extend the deadline to tell people, hey, remember to redeem your code so you can get the physical product, wink, wink. So
Yeah.
I don't think it went anywhere.
Most people just like probably screenshot it and then controlled save. Like there's my picture of a bag.
It's
Yeah.
definitely business poison at this point to think
Yeah.
that NFTs are a viable market product in terms of like your consumer base, because 90% of people realize NFTs are just a scam.
Yeah.
And I think I'm even
And
underselling that 90%.
Wasn't
Probably
there a
more like
study
98%.
put out? Wasn't there a study put out where they figured out that like, was it like 95% of the NFT market is just like the same couple people
Yep. It's
buying and selling, and it's
Yeah.
because
it's
they're
literally
trying to
just a
drum up
very small
hype.
group of people. Yeah,
Right.
They're just
It's
trying
all-
to drum up hype.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a scam. It's a scheme. It's hey, look at this thing. You want this thing. This thing is so rare and cool, and you can only get this one thing.
And the
And
reason
then,
they
oh,
promote
well.
it so hard is because they have to hype it up to sell it for more than what they bought it with. It's
Right.
totally a Ponzi scheme. It's
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, it's a mess.
It's like
yeah.
it's like when Aldi tells me something is going to be limited time, and then it shows up again 2 months later.
Right.
And I mean, I'll be the first to admit, I fell for it in a way. I didn't buy anything, thankfully, because God, that would have been stupid. I don't have the money to buy that kind of garbage. But during one of their DC fandom things,
I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw.
they were giving out
They were
free
giving
NFTs.
them out free. Yeah.
Here's some free NFTs. I don't know how you can. So somewhere on some server in some part of I don't know where, I have
Zanzibar.
2-3 NFTs from DC, and they just sent me an email the other day. It's like, hey, DC NFT Marketplace is going to be opening on May 28th or 29th or something. You can sell your NFTs now. And I'm like, how do I sell something I got for free? I mean, I'll try it. Like, listen, if I can get $5 for something you gave me for free, I'll take the $5. I don't
Do
care.
it.
I just want to
Yeah.
off of my
So Paladin brought up a good point in chat. He said the Zap Megazord comes out in August, and I don't think Hasbro's talked about it once since the first reveal.
I canceled my pre-order.
I mean,
Yeah, me
they
too.
talked about the Zap Dragonzord, but yeah, they haven't talked much about it.
I think during the Zap Dragonzord said they think I can't talk. During the Zap Dragonzord thing, they said, "Oh, and it'll be compatible with the Megazord," and that's as much
Yeah,
as the
it'll be-
Megazord
Yeah.
we've heard of.
Yeah.
That's as much as we've heard.
And I think I don't remember who said it on Twitter. It might have been you, Eric, might have been someone else.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that whole plan too isn't taking off as much as they wanted it to, because they're just rehashing the same season over and over again. Like, how many Megazords can people possibly buy, even if it's made by someone different?
And that's the thing. It's
Exactly.
like, look, I've got the original Megazord. I've got the Bandai Legacy Megazord. I've got the Sola Chogokin Megazord. How many Megazords do I need?
I have the Legacy Black and Gold, and
Yeah.
I'm like that's enough. I got the Bandai Legacy Ninja one, and that's the one that I cared the most about.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
wait
Give
me
us something
wait
different.
me when they do Shogun Megazord. Wait me when
And-
they do the
yeah.
Turbo Megazord.
Astro.
Right.
Astro.
Astro
It's one
Mega Ship.
Zord.
Astro,
It's one
yeah.
freaking Zord.
And it
Right.
transforms. Hasbro, you make
It's
Transformers.
literally a transformer.
Right.
Yeah. For
Come
real.
on.
For me, I'm gonna keep my pre-orders just because
Yeah.
I had those as a kid, but I didn't keep them. So I am excited to have a premium Megazord,
Yeah.
and I never got in on the legacy
Yeah.
stuff. So I'm glad they're doing that. I won't
And
be
look, if
purchasing
you
the
do
gold one.
if you do a review on it and it kicks ass, I may buy it if it's still
Right.
available.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and then it's also just cool. Like, my kids are way into Power Rangers. They're way into every series. I mean, I was literally just watching In Space with my 3-year-old, so like it's going to be cool to collect those for them as well too, just so we can display them and stuff. So, there's something there for every fan. I think the the power blaster thing they're building is a little too rich for my blood.
Yeah,
but
me too.
Yeah.
No.
as far as the Megazords, if this one comes and it's really cool and it's, you know, looks as good as it does in the pictures and the articulation's really good, you know, I think they have something here. But yeah, like you said, they just got to keep going. And if we get that Astro Mega ship, if we get the Lightspeed, you know, Megazord, like, you know, the Rescue Megazord, like all of these different, the possibilities are endless.
Right.
So,
I love the concept of Zap because it's all
Yeah.
144 scale. I love the concept on paper that if they keep making Megazords from all these different seasons, they'll be in scale with each other. And I love the possibility of the future of that. But I got to get past this Mighty Morphin stuff. Like, wake me when it's literally any other season.
On that note, like, wake me up when they have a Super Train Megazord that can fit the Lightspeed Megazord inside of it.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
I don't care if that thing is like $300 because you know it will be. But I
would be down for Super Train. Train Megazords are awesome.
That's the problem. Is we're gonna get all these. We're gonna get Titanus. We're probably gonna get the Turtle. You know, all this stuff before we get any cool stuff that the fans like us really want, you know, just because they feel the need to have to push this MMPR stuff at us,
make it
all
the face
time.
of the brand. Yeah.
And you know, we've talked about this a little bit before. I think they need to reboot MMPR as a kids thing and target kids, you know, like my children, for a PJ Masks type MMPR show.
Right.
And then give us, as the adult fans, what we want out of that part. Because I mean, all of us sitting here, you know, that's probably if they make that $300 train, we're all gonna buy it. I mean, you know, most
don't volunteer my thing.
Well, anyway,
I'll get Mega Voyager. I'm not gonna get I'm not getting the train.
Okay, percentage is high that if they made stuff we wanted, we would buy it, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
That's just what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Sorry, but anyway, but like I think they need to reboot the brand for the kids. Personally, form some new fans out of MMPR, and then give us older fans what we really want.
I kind of agree with that.
That's the only way this franchise is going to go on for another 30 years. If they don't capture the next generation with something, this brand is dead in 5 years.
I look at what they've done with Spidey and Amazing Friends. I mean, that's introduced these characters to my kids that are staples. Like my 3-year-old, Miles is his Spider-Man. Like he will forever love Spider-Man because of these properties they've put in place for him, you know, and he's going to be a lifelong fan of that stuff.
My 4-year-old niece knows Spider-Man, knows Spider-Gwen, although I think it's Ghost Spider in Spider-Man.
Yeah, they call her Gwen.
And Miles is Spin in Amazing Friends.
And so she knows these characters because of these products that are designed for her age. So and if we had a Power Rangers thing like that, that'd be amazing.
So can I hop in for a second, just give you an anecdote? So like my 2-year-old nephew loves Spidey and his Amazing Friends. And he is obsessed with the Hulk now because the Hulk is on that show. But he also thinks that the Hulk is a naked monkey, and he's not totally wrong. And I'm not going to be the one to correct him or anything. But like I bought him. He had COVID a few weeks ago, and my 9-week-old niece also had COVID.
Oh, it's
crazy. Yeah, but everybody ended up fine. But I was like, you know, cool Uncle Ben, let me get him some Spidey and his Amazing Friends toys, and it came with like a Hulk figurine, and he'll go on FaceTime and he'll be like, Hulk Spider-Man, Hulk Spider-Man, Hulk Spider-Man, and I'm like, yeah, and he's like, he turns around Hulk and he says, Hulk Tushy, Hulk Tushy. And I'm like, I'm like, Judah, what does Hulk's Tushy make? And he's like, Stinky Duties. And like, I don't know why I told you that story. I had to. And I just want Eric to know, like, this is what you got to look forward to with a kid.
I'm
100% there.
I don't want to glance over the fact that we have Uncle Ben teaching people about Spider-Man.
That's so it's a little worrisome. I realize.
Watch out for muggers. Just be very careful, Ben.
When I found out I was going to be an uncle, this was very worrisome, and so like I insisted, like, no, I'm still Dr. Ben. Like,
if Peter leaves the house, just don't leave that house.
Right,
stay home. Just stay home. It's fine.
Peter, Peter.
But yeah, it's like with man, just having a show for kids like Amazing Spider-Man and his friends or whatever, it would just do wonders for the brand, because now these kids can find all these Power Ranger episodes on YouTube. Like, give them a show that is their gateway, like what Star Trek Prodigy is for young kids for Star Trek.
Right.
Give them, reference. I don't care if the MMPR, if this like a Super Kids animated show or whatever, and if they're all at Angel Grove Elementary or something, and then Carter, the local firefighter, comes by and is like, "Hey kids, I'm going to teach you about fire safety. I also happen to be the Red Power Ranger of Lightspeed." And
every now and then a Silver Ranger on an asteroid shows up ready to steal your girl.
Well,
It's
yeah,
like,
exactly.
that reminds me of, I don't know if anybody remembers, a couple years ago they released that teaser animation of like, Trini as Yellow Ranger, and I remember at the time looking at it like, well, that's dumb, I don't want that. But I realize now in my old age, like, oh no, that's not for me, that's for my nephew, for my niece, for
Didn't
the
they
kids.
come out with like Fisher Price Mighty Morphin?
Yeah, and that died.
Why do that? Why do that when the show doesn't?
Well, I
like,
collected every single one of those little figures because I love chibi Power Ranger figures, but it
make
died.
A show off of that.
It just
make
died.
A show off of that.
Yeah.
Like Mason said, make a show off of that.
Tyler MC brings it all around with Toku babies.
Toku baby, yeah.
There it is.
Ranger babies.
Well, yeah, I like your point there, Eric, is you could bring so much of the lore into that show. Like Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, my kids are learning about Black Panther. They're learning about Miss Marvel. Things I had no clue about at my age because those weren't like prevalent in the show, but like in the different properties that we had growing up. But like, you could bring so much into this, into a show like that, and kids would find it on their own, go to their parents that show Power Rangers from a long time ago. And they go to the store, they see those toys, and you buy them and the parent buys them, boom, because they're begging. That's exactly what happened with me and Spidey and Amazing Friends. My kids got hooked on this show because they found it on the Disney app. We went to the store, they saw the toys, and I was like, I can't say no to that. So I bought them, the toys, and it was a no-brainer. So,
and that's the whole point of the franchise, is to sell toys. Get those kids begging their parents, hey, get me a Power Rangers toy.
Right.
Because right now it's just a bunch of nerds in the aisles looking for the latest Lightning collection.
I go every day.
Me too.
There's so many yellows. There's so many Zeo yellows and Phantom Rangers.
And also I want to point this out too, is that for the most part, a lot of that Target demo, that's like buying the Lightning collection stuff, or even just the basic stuff, most of them weren't even alive when Mighty Morphin came out. I was born the same day Tommy became the White Ranger. True story. Right as Tommy was becoming the White Ranger, I was being born.
You were
feel myself getting older. Oh.
Well, if you want to feel really old, Database Ranger said it's still wild to me how many of my high school students grew up with Samurai. And Josh, Living Ranger Key, his first Power Ranger series was Samurai. We have to remember there's a whole nother generation right behind us that grew up with the Neo Saban era. And their thoughts on those series are just as valid as our thoughts on, anything that we grew up with.
So and I agree, because, I think what happens is that and I think Toku Chris talked about this a while ago, because retailers were like, Mighty Morphin's the only one that sells, because most of the people buying this stuff are let's say 10 years ago, people who grew up with the original, maybe late 20s, early 30s. My first season was Lightspeed Rescue. Where's my Lightspeed Megazord that I grew up with? It's kind of like, I appreciate Mighty Morphin. There's stuff I like about it, but I don't have nostalgia for it really. Unless you consider ABC Family reruns nostalgia. But
that's kind of like how I was. I mean, I appreciate MMPR, but my first real season that I watched on television was Turbo.
Yep.
That's why that's got a special place in my heart. It's not my favorite season, but that's Turbo's my MMPR. If they started releasing Turbo stuff, I'd buy all of it.
I had an idea. Like instead, going off that, instead of re-releasing In Space Blue with the Galaxy Glider, why don't they just do TJS Turbo Rabbit Lightning Cruiser? You know how many of those would have sold?
Oh my god.
So weird
So many.
that they didn't do that. And like when the weird identity that Power Rangers has with the 90s, like it doesn't, I don't know, when I think of Power Rangers, I don't like, yeah, I watched it in the 90s, but it doesn't like define 90s for me.
Mhm.
I don't know if that makes any sense, but like,
well, yeah, it's not like they had like fanny packs and were like totally, whoa,
Yeah,
90s,
like-
man.
like there was, I mean, Cassie in that In Space Grandma episode with her overalls, that was a little,
Yeah.
that was pretty retro. but like when there was like a BuzzFeed quiz of like, which Power Ranger are you and everything, and all the questions had to do with like, do you collect these kinds of pogs, and like did you watch Sister or did you watch
What?
Doug? And I'm like why does Power Rangers have to have the identity like of 90s strictly?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't.
Exactly.
That's
It-
what I love about the comics.
Yep.
Is it's brought it into the 21st century. You know,
It's
like
right,
with
it's in a
the text
perpetual
message
now.
bubbles and like just stuff like that are so today, social media stuff
And
like
that
you know,
just
it's great.
proves that the story and the characters of Mighty Morphin can work not only as a 90s thing, but as a contemporary thing, and they can tell contemporary stories. The comics are like, I keep going back to the comics, but that's literally like the Power Ranger comics got me back into regular comic book collecting. Now I've got like at least 20 titles that my comic shop is keeping me up on. So I don't know, man. Like,
And
it's
you
just-
double and triple dip, which is
with the
dangerous.
variance covers.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I
it's,
can
And the
get
hard
it.
covers
For a
and soft
while.
covers, yeah.
it's
Maniacs.
And then you got to buy the trade paperbacks, because you would just want them all collected together. So
I love you, Eric, but that's nuts.
ridiculous. Hey, it's my money at the end of the day.
No, look,
I know I'm crazy. I know I'm
I
crazy.
get my single issues, and then I get the hard covers.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Good job.
Well, because I don't want to edit another 2-hour podcast this weekend, I think we're going to wrap it up unless there are any last minute comments on YouTube. First off, thank you, Mason, Ben, and Tyler for joining. You guys are really the only ones that responded to the DM, and I'm like, hey, all of them have done like podcasting or have talked about it at some point, so why not? So that's why I gave you guys the full Zoom link, because I'm like, I just don't want like an audio call. I want to see your guys' faces and hang out.
Oh, this
so.
whole thing.
Yeah.
This whole thing.
But
Yeah. I'm a little sunburnt today, but it's okay.
I was wondering if your color adjustment was off or whatever. But
No, we were in the pool today, and I didn't put enough sunscreen on. So
I'm being a homebody and playing through Arkham Knight and rewatching.
nice.
Or no, I'm sorry, not Arkham. I'm playing Arkham Asylum right now. Then I'll play Arkham City and Arkham Knight and rewatching all of This Is Us. So like my emotions are just.
All
I mean, I've
over
just
the
been
place.
rewatching Degrassi, in case
Yeah.
y'all couldn't tell.
Yeah.
HBO Max has all of the seasons.
You know what?
That's true.
I
I
really
did see
got to
that.
get HBO Max. Like I feel
I
like
love
I'm
it.
missing.
Yeah.
It's one of the
You got-
best streaming
dude,
services.
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker is
Peacemaker is-
amazing.
It's the best
I
show
know.
of the new year,
It's so good.
and I will fight somebody about this. The best 2 new movies of the year, Sonic 2 and
have
Rescue
to fight me.
Rangers, were better than Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
And I haven't seen any of them yet. So
Sonic 2 now on Paramount Plus.
it is. I've been seeing the ads. I
And-
do want to check it
I might
out.
rewatch it
Rescue
tonight.
Rangers is like the real multiverse of madness.
Yeah.
it really was.
Listen, Rescue
Like-
Rangers is a worthy sequel to Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Okay.
Well, I've been
Yeah.
hearing people saying that that Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers is like this generation's
It is.
Who Framed
it
Roger
is.
Rabbit.
Oh, it
yeah.
absolutely is.
It
And-
is-
And,
it is
you can
because-
see it fitting in the same world as Who
It-
Framed Roger Rabbit.
It
I mean-
takes all the animation that has sort of evolved over
Yeah.
the past several years since Roger Rabbit, and it puts it in there.
Yeah, I
And
know
it-
they make a joke about like they had the CGI surgery or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, this has been awesome. 200 episodes.
Hey!
I can't believe it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, congrats, guys, everybody involved. It's really,
Well, thank you,
it's really
guys.
awesome. Yeah.
Thanks.
And Eric, I can't wait for you to become a dad. I've still got your holiday card on my fridge, and I look forward to a holiday card with all three of you guys.
Oh my god, that's gonna be the cutest thing.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
we'll do another J.C. Penney's photo
go.
shoot.
We love your style.
All right. So I think that about does it. I want to thank everyone who watched live. We've had a pretty consistent viewership tonight. Thank you so much for everyone in the stream right now. Once again, thanks Mason, Ben, and Tyler, and also thanks Zach and AP. I mean, total 287 episodes. There it is. There's the reveal.
There's the reveal. And a twist you won't believe.
For the third time.
Yeah.
It's like I'm looking at like 3 or 4 circles here.
Observe the
Circle
viewing
section.
globe.
I legit thought that was going to be the one where she takes off the mask. We joked about that beforehand.
I thought about it. I almost did that.
Like, we literally joked right before. We're like, what are we going to do? We got to have like a representation of AP. Do you have that mask? Oh, yeah, I still got the mask. Okay, we'll do that as a joke. And then like, oh, maybe I'll take it off as a joke. And I'm just like, this is getting to be
I was
more
going
of
to
a
do the whole
joke.
podcast in the mask, but you can't hear me.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah, we
It
tried
was
that
really
before,
bad.
and it was
We
like,
tested it.
Hello, yes, I'm a
Hello. Secret Angel fan. It was that's what I literally said. I'm like, AP, you're like the female Bane if you try to talk through that mask. All right.
I see you were born in Ranger Command.
Well, Ranger Nation, let us know what you think. You have questions, you can email us at rangercommandpowerhour@gmail.com or check us out at rangercommand.com. While the podcast may be going on a bit of a hiatus, we're still going to update the site with, like I said, with news, press releases, comic reviews, comic previews, all of that stuff. So stay tuned to our social media as well as the website at rangercommand.com. And yeah, just keep updated there. And if watch next week, there's going to be like some huge Power Rangers news, and I'm gonna be like, here we go again.
Everyone else gets arrested. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? But
I mean, there might be other criminals. We don't know. Someone was out there saying that.
Oh my god, I don't want to end on that. But
all right. Every other actor that was in Power Rangers adopts a puppy.
There you
Happy
go. I
news.
like that.
That'd be
Happy
great.
ending.
That'd be great.
Happy ending.
Yeah.
So, so thanks everyone that was on the stream, and thank all of you for joining. So yeah, and we'll see you whenever we see you. And I just want to say just thank you for 8 years of support. This is not goodbye. This is just, I need a break, and I'm literally having a child. So, okay.
We will be back.
All right. Thanks everyone. Hope everyone has a good night. See ya.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Internet.
Bye.
All right. I got to do the thanks.